And all we do is we just pour that over. There's no real skill to this job. So now I'll put that in the fridge for 2 to 3 days, depending on the size of the fillets. So our herrings have been in for just over 2 days. These are young beetroot, and they work amazingly well with a bit of sour cream and horseradish. Like little chocolate cherries. Like looking for women. Beautiful shape. Pretty. Fresh horseradish. The sour cream, tiny bit of horseradish in each one. A little bit more of the garnish. Let's be honest, you could just make a beetroot salad in a bowl, herrings on a plate. Your choice. You know, I like to show off. And some of these nice little spices. Just put some chives on the beetroot. And so there's our soused herrings with our beetroot salad with the sour cream and the greatest horseradish.
Coming up,
Come on, boy.
Marco's making friends
I think everyone should have a pig.
as he looks to challenge his diner's palates.
People should have more courage. You get the mince around and then serve it raw. Nice, eh?
No.
An Englishman's home is his castle. And for Marco Pierre White, home is his beloved pub in the heart of the Hampshire countryside.
I love pubs. I don't like boozers, which have fruit machines, lager, a million bottles in the fridges. A pub, to me, should be an eating and drinking house.
In preparation for the Great British Feast, a select group of guests will be invited to the pub to taste Marco's choice of potential starters. They will then help him decide which one should be served to more than 200 people at the feast.
When you are going to stand up and say that you're going to create a Great British Feast, I think what I have to do is allow others in and ask them for their opinions.
With the taster day looming, Marco's hit the road to seek out another starter. Accompanied by long-suffering companion Mr. Ishii, he wants to explore the idea of serving fresh game. So he's heading back out into nature's larder. Today, the deer and pheasants of the Sussex countryside are safe.
We're here in West Sussex to shoot pigeons with a dear old friend of mine, David Whitby. They're not that easy to shoot, actually, because they're coming from all angles. But the reality is, if they start to come, pigeon shooting is, without doubt, the most exciting of shooting.
Travelling in enormous flocks of several thousand birds, in some parts of the UK, wood pigeons are now the #1 agricultural pest. But bizarrely, are often found on the menus of posh restaurants.
We get a couple of dozen, very nice, maybe 30, maybe 50.
Gimp mask.
Oh, I love that. I saw a field the other day, it must have 500 in it, David.
I bet we've got flocks around here of that and more at the moment, mate. There's a lot of pigeons about. It's, what time is it now, about 11:30?
I haven't got a clue.
It's that, we might have a little bit of a wait while they fed this morning, and they're obviously sitting in those trees over there digesting, so... but I expect there'll be a bit of action fairly soon. There's a lot of, I mean, there are thousands of pigeons in the area.
How long have you been waiting? About an hour?
No, about 15 minutes, mate.
No, we've been here more than 15 minutes.
25 minutes.
It seems like an hour.
It does, doesn't it? Come on, pigeons. Pigeon coming over. He saw us from behind. He might swing round. Marco, coming. Oh, behind you. Above you. One coming straight at us, Marco. I'll tell you when to turn. Hold still. Too far.
Throwing those woods, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's not going to happen, is it? You just know it's not, isn't it?
The joys of pigeon shooting.
There's easier ways than making money
Easier ways of what?
making money
What, than shooting pigeons?
than sitting in a hide.
Yeah.
After an hour in the hide and no pigeon to put on his menu, Marco's losing interest. But David's keen to make sure his trip to Sussex is worthwhile.
I'm good, mate. I'm with Marco. And someone has told him that you've got the biggest bullocks in the country. And he'd very much like to come and have a look, because we're sat in a pigeon hide just protecting British agriculture. He's actually said there are more pigeons in Trafalgar Square.
Look at the size of that fucking cow. Can you imagine driving down the motorway and seeing that in field?
This is Crinkle.
Shit.
Weighing in at 1.5 tons, he is reputedly Britain's largest steer.
He's fucking massive. Look at the size of him. Mr. Ishii, come and stroke him. Come on. Come on, Mr. Ishii, come and stroke him. He's big. Come on. Is he taller than you, Mr. Ishii? Is he taller than you? Yes. He's taller than Mr. Ishii. How are you? Do you want to kiss him, Mr. Ishii? He's like an elephant. He's ridiculous, isn't he? He is, actually.
Despite being cheered up by meeting Crinkle, Marco is no nearer to finding his second starter. But he's had a tip-off about a potential dish that he's keen to consider. Along with Mr. Ishii, Marco's headed east.
I was talking to one of my great friends, Peter, the other day, and he was telling me about this cured ham he'd had and how they cure it. So obviously they cure it like a Parma ham or a York ham, but then they hang them in the trees. And he said to me, Marco, they take them out of the trees, cut off all the mould, and then the ham you eat is the most delicious. So I've come here today to look at this ham.
Marco has travelled to Knepp Castle, a 3,500-acre estate in West Sussex that has been home to the Burrell family for more than 200 years.
Hello, Charlie.
Marco, welcome.
Peter sends his very best. Lovely to be here.
Well, pleasure, yeah. Come in.
Very romantic here.
When he's not running the estate, keen foodie Charlie Burrell produces 8 unique hams a year, which he only gives to friends and family. And what's more, it's dry cured in an ancient oak tree. For over a year.
What possessed you to want to start doing this?
I'm very interested in food, I think, is the answer.
It's your love of food.
Yes. The purpose of putting them out here and letting them live in this sort of environment is just this very slow process of drawing out moisture and getting the hams into a fit state to eat. Yeah, and it depends on how hot it is and how dry it is during the summer period to how quickly you can then start opening them up.
You know, there's something rather nice about a big ham. It's just one of the most delicious meals. You know, ham is delicious. And, you know, I've always loved a ham sandwich. I think it's my favourite sandwich, I'm not sure. But I love a ham sandwich. I love a croque monsieur. I love ham. I don't care whether it's pâte negra, whether it's jambon de Bayonne, whether it's York ham, whether it's ball ham. Who cares?
Unsurprisingly, Marco's asked if he can meet Charlie's herd, which consists of 6 Tamworth pigs, the UK's oldest breed. They roam wild on the estate, feasting on acorns, which Charlie believes gives his ham its unique taste.
That's a big pig. Look at that. They're amazing. I think we should have more of them. I think everybody should have a pig, don't you? Look at them.
Now we know Marco likes ham, but to say